Hey, Walking Crow for the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine. And before we go any further, and I start drumming again, we're going to be singing the new song that was written in April that I introduced yesterday. And a lot of you heard it yesterday and have been listening to it overnight. And I'm going to sing it again so we can learn that all together and be with it in a good way. Aho, aho, aho. All right, so here we go. And I didn't mean to stop, but I wanted to just let you guys know what was going on. Aho, welcome, aho. Hey, Walking Crow for the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine. Bidding everybody a happy Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. What kind of taco are you going to choose today? Oh, this is about choosing more than tacos. And I want to say good morning to some folks that are with us today from the East Coast. If I forget your name, I'm sorry, but when I'm in the middle of doing these videos, it gets, things get away from me, and that's just the way things go. But there's some folks that are going to be having some surgeries tomorrow or the next day, and you should know that our prayers are with you. My prayers are with you, that I am with you, because you know me, because you know Walking Crow, that I will be in the room with you holding your hand. You have to know that. Hey, so welcome to Chuesday. One more time. Hey Sheyanaya. Hey Sheyanaya. Hey Sheyanaya. Hey. That's the name of the new song that we're learned. If I get it wrong, I'm not going to apologize, because just because I wrote it doesn't mean that I know it. All right. So yesterday we were talking about some things, and I was talking about unconditional love and your duality of your left side, your duality of your left side, divine feminine receiving, and the duality to it, which is the right hand. The right hand of duality, the right hand of divine masculine, the right hand of divine giving. It gives the divine feminine. Aho. And there are those in life that sometimes are more in their divine masculine as women. And sometimes they have to be because of a wound that they've experienced, because of a broken connection in your second chakra, a place of connection to others, a place of feelings, a place of hurt. It's where the wound, it's where we fight or flight, it's where we're birthed, it's where we create, it's where we birth. Aho. And sometimes we carry a wound in our life from in that place, which affects our low self-esteem, which is right above it, our fire, our fuego, our I can, I will, I do, I am. Aho. And sometimes we have to, as women, have to step into a situation with a deeper voice or with a more aggressive stance or however that looks. And then there are others who step in with a more feminine stance and a more feminine look and a less aggressive way of doing things. So, there's balance there, and neither one is right and neither one is wrong. And you just have to understand that it's the duality of who you are. And as men, we have the same thing. A lot of times men spend a lot of time trying to be tough guys because they don't know, because there's a stigma in being softer. There's a stigma in being more feminine. There's a stigma in talking about your feelings because, tough guys don't talk about feelings. Tough guy, real men don't eat quiche. Well, guess what? Dude eats quiche. That's right. And if you want to go there, we'll have a conversation offline about something like that. But men have the same stigma. Men sometimes will come into a situation with their chest puffed up. And they don't have to be. You don't have to be a tough guy in every situation, and you don't have to be way to the other side of being a doormat either, because there are men in situations who don't know how to stand up for themselves, who don't know how to be who they are, who don't want to say what they need to say for fear of being unloved, for fear of being left alone again, for fear of being abandoned. Yeah, abandoned. A person could be abandoned in the same home with another person while the person's in the home. That happened to me as a child. I was abandoned. I was ignored. It was as if I wasn't there a lot of time. And I was. And they were. And it wasn't a whole. But once we realize and we know what these things are, we are able to come into a balance. We are able to come into a healing of our feeling and what that looks like. Aho, aho. I am no longer a doormat. You don't have to be a doormat. Women don't have to be doormats, and they don't have to puff up their chest either. You just have to say what's on your heart in a matter-of-fact way. I say things in a very direct way, and I don't apologize for nothing. It's not my business how it lands on you. Where are you in your life where you're offended by everything? And that's been a problem with America for the last 20 years, with the United States. Everybody's offended by everything. What the hell happened to this place? What the hell happened to this world? Where, I don't understand women who are butch, who don't like men, but they look like men. And I'm not trying to be offensive, but that's something I don't have an understanding of. I don't understand guys who don't like women, but they want to act and be like women. I don't get that either. So, am I out of balance? Maybe I am, but I know that I'm not, because I find balance in who and what I am, not in who and what others are. Aho. It's your place to find the balance and to heal the wounds that have happened in your life. And I know for some there are many. And I know for a lot of people they are deep. And I understand how deep the wounds are because I have done the work of deep wounds. I have done womb story. I have done birth story. I have done early year story. And I just had a memory a couple of weeks ago on the table with my healer, not my dealer. That was the old Anthony. That was Tony. That was a long time ago. With my healer, Donna McGinnis, where I had a memory of a trauma that affected me so deep that I carried it around for over almost 52 years, if not 51. 50 years. It's a long time to carry around a hurt. It's a long time to carry around the bondage of the baggage of a wound that doesn't allow one to grow. Aho. So I did the work on that, and I was able to forgive my father and forgive myself, and simply by using the power of the Ho'oponopono prayer, aho, and sharing that with him, and sharing it with myself, and sharing it with my child, the little boy. So I get to sit in my duality. I get to sit in my divine feminine. I get to sit in my divine masculine and understand that I, walking crow, has balance. Now, when I say walking crow, that is balance. Walking crow. Aho. I live on the earth, but I walk on the earth, but I live in the spirit world. That is balance. That is balance. That is balance. And that's a hard thing to do in this day and age when people are, offended by everything. I don't get offended by everything. I still have to have a good laugh. I was watching Dave Chappelle the other day. And if you're going to be offended by Dave Chappelle, just don't turn it on, because he says what he's got to say, because he sees everything in the way that he sees it. He doesn't look at things the way that you look at them. I don't see the world like you see it. I'm not offended by everything. I grew up being called a dirty Mexican. I grew up being called a pendejo, stupid by my own people. I grew up being called whitewashed by my own people. I went to a place called San Fernando High School, and they weren't kind there to me. They weren't kind there to me at all. I was an outcast. But that's the way it was. It's been like that for me for a lifetime. I didn't have a tribe. But I thrived without a tribe. I thrive now in my life. And if you're a part of my tribe, great. And if you're not a part of my tribe, that's okay too. So, how are you going to love yourself? How are you going to love others unconditionally when you can't love yourself unconditionally? There's a lot of, I've had a lot of women reach out to me lately who are looking for relationship. They want relationship. But they aggressively talk like this, and they're always wanting to tell me what it is that they know. I don't need to know what you know. You need to know what you know. And knowing it doesn't mean that you know how to use it. Having book smarts doesn't mean that you know what the fuck you're talking about. But having the experience of putting the book smarts to use, in good use in your life, will get you the wisdom and the knowledge and the experience that you could possibly share with other people. Aho. When I first became an energy healer, the director of the school said, what you learn here is not going to come from the book. What you learn here is going to come from here. And I heard that. I didn't hear it here. I heard it here. And I've been doing that ever since. And those of you who follow me, those of you who watch me, those who understand what I'm talking about and say, yeah, know what I'm talking about. So I don't talk about, I've read a lot of books. I've read hundreds of books, and where are they? They're all packed away in the garage right now until I get my own place. That's where they're going to stay. But, just because I have a lot of books doesn't mean that I know a lot of things, right? But because I know a lot of things means I've had a lot of experiences. Not that I've just read a lot of books. Aho. Knowledge doesn't always come from a book. That's called that's called learning. That's called teaching, but that's not necessarily knowledge. Aho. Unless you understand the practicality of the experience that goes with it, and you've experienced the experience and have the experience that goes with it. Aho. Then you can share it with others and say, this is what I did. This is how I did it. Was it graceful for me? No. Was it painful for me? Yeah. Did I get a result? Yes. Am I happier now? Absolutely. I know how to love me and the duality in me and the duality of me and the duality of you and who you are. I get to let you off my hook. There's a prayer that they like to pray in Alcoholics Anonymous. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot say. I don't pray it accept. I pray it like this. God grant me the serenity to expect the things I cannot change. Expect. I expect that you might let me down. I expect that I could be wrong. I expect that I might be right. I expect that the sun will go up and the sun will come down, and I expect that I might see the stars. I might not see the stars, because of earth light and that sort of stuff. I expect, I don't accept. Because sometimes I don't have the capacity to accept the circumstances around me because of a potential broken soul. And am I willing, if I know that, if I'm in that understanding that I have a broken soul, am I willing to do something about it? Aho. So come into your duality. Come into your divine feminine, divine masculine. Come into the she-man, shaman that you are. Aho. It's just not that person that lives on the edge of town that, it's got one crazy eye like I had. And, you only go there when you need something. And when you go there, the shamans didn't work for free. When you go there, you better take a chicken or a loaf of bread or some money or a bag of rice or some food or some soup or something for that person. Because in exchange of energies. So if you need help, reach out to me. If you need help, there's many people on my feed that can help you. Get it? On my feed, because it's those that are here to help that can feed you. If you want to be nourished, if you want to learn how to be cared for, if you want to learn how to nurture your nature, reach out to one of us. You know who we are. We stand out like a sore thumb. Aho. Because of the things we do, because of the things we say, because of the places and situations we've been. We understand. We know. So come into the nurture of your nature, of the duality of who and what you are, and be the shaman, she-man, shaman for yourself. Aho, aho, aho. Wow, that was I didn't know that's what I was going to talk about, but the guides give me what they give me. And remember, it's Tuesday, so you get to make a choice. You get to choose what it is that you want. You are not a victim. You are not a slave, or you don't have to be anymore. Once you become and come into your awareness, once you become aware and come into your awareness, you have a responsibility to you. And you have a responsibility to your common unity, your community. So knowing it just isn't knowing it. Knowing it is having to do something and make the changes that you want to make for yourself. Aho. Aho. So maybe I'll sing a couple of songs. Maybe I'll sing Hey Hey Shea, and then move into another song. We'll see, okay? All right. So have a beautiful day. Aho. Iowana, Iowana, Ishto. Iowana, Iowana, Ishto. Iowana, Iowana, Ishto. Aho shinawana honata. Aho shinawana he. Aho shinawana he. Aho shinawana he. Walking Crow for the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine. Asking you to have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Taco Tuesday. And choose correctly. Choose differently. Choose something that you normally wouldn't choose for yourself today on Chuesday. Have an amazing day. Thank you.